Hey guys, welcome back. This is Ben again, and this is the second half of part 2 in my Deer in the Headlights tutorial. If you haven't already, again, please watch part 1, or if you haven't and you want to continue, let's press on and see how much your adventurous soul can take. We left off last video, and we had pretty much programmed the sound we wanted. Now we're going to concern ourselves with moving this cutoff knob right here. And so let's dive right in and pick our target in this router section. And even though this looks scary, it's just like it's the same set of controls over and over and over and over and over. And so we only deal with just one of them at a time. So let's go pick our target. Fortunately, cutoff 1 is right in the middle here, and this is what we want to deal with. And this is cutoff 1, this is cutoff 2. We'll deal with this one because that's the half of the filter we're using. Our source is going to be an envelope, and it can't be envelope 3 because this one's hardwired to the amp, or the volume, if you will. But we can use envelope 2, and we want to use all of the features an envelope can offer, so that's why we use this one. I'm going to set the efficacy triangle down to the middle here so nothing will happen yet. But I want to program in the shape we want for envelope 2 first. And just for a visual aid, I've shamelessly downloaded this graphic here from the internet, and it's another way of visualizing what an envelope can do. So for example, I'm going to make sure this doesn't go away while I do things on this screen. So for example, I'm going to deal with the third envelope that's hardwired to the amp to show you what's going on. All these envelopes are, or most of these envelopes, 2 of the 3 are ADSR, attack, decay, sustain, and release envelopes. And that's the basic premise. That's what's going on in this graphic too. If we were to take this and just say, okay, this axis is time, and this is signal strength, we can pretty much break it down into what's happening. Let's assume this is modulating volume, for instance. So in this example here, the person has pressed a key down, and right immediately the signal goes all the way up to its full strength in the attack phase, and then it glides down to a lower volume and stays there for the sustain phase. Then this lasts at the same signal strength that however long the synthesist holds his key down, and then when he releases the key, the volume slowly fades out to nothingness. And so that's the basic premise of what we want to do here. We want to change our frequency depending on the shape of this envelope. And even though it looks different, it's using sliders instead of graphics. It operates on the exact same premise. So for argument's sake, let's ramp the attack time up pretty far and see what happens to the volume. And as you could hear, it took a long time to get to full volume. That's basically what's happening in this envelope here. So I put it back down to normal strength, and if this were translated again into a graphic, it would kind of look like a square because there is a short attack time, very short decay time. The sustain is all the way up as far as it'll go, and then the release is very short. So it would kind of look like a triangle, or not triangle, a square. Sorry. So if we rethink what we want to do here in the in our modulation, how we want our frequency to sound, we can adjust these controls proportionately. So we want our signal to begin where we put it, which it always will, and then we want the cutoff knob to go down as far as it'll go down for as long as we hold the key down, and then when we release the key, it'll snap back up to where we put it. This is quite handy because having a plan helps in programming your synthesizers, because I know from experience I've tootled around with this for a long time and had no idea what it was doing. And I sat down and it was explained to me, and everything was awesome. So what is this envelope doing right now? It's immediately has no attack time whatsoever. So the signal strength ramps all the way up to the middle of the sustain. No decay time, so it doesn't go down at all. And then the release is a little bit longer. So if we were to take a look at this, it would kind of look like a half of a trapezoid almost. What we want to concern ourselves with is basically the attack and the release time. So we want our cutoff value to slowly go down, and so we want to ramp our attack time up all the way. So it'll read the envelope slowly, and then it'll stay as far down as it can. So we want the sustain all the way up, and then the release value is fine where it is. Like I said, or because envelope 2 is in retrigger mode, which among all the 3 modes, I think this is the coolest, because it resets the envelope when you release the key, and so you won't hear what the release setting here is doing, because the filter will snap back to the beginning. So let's go over here to our router section and dial in some positive values and see what's happening. Well, that was weird. What happened there? Well, it was doing exactly what we told it to, and it was taking our cutoff value, which started where we placed it, and it was going up. It was reading the attack time and just ramping this signal up farther than we wanted to hear it. It actually did opposite of what we wanted it to. And so that was kind of weird. We dialed in a value and it worked, but we wanted it to work in the opposite way. We're going to deal with if some of you could guess already, we're going to deal with the negative portion of this. And what this section in the router does, this slider right here, it reads how this knob moves. And before, when I had it at the positive value, it was reading exactly what the envelope said and making this go even more positive by reading the positive values, and then it stayed there and forever and ever. What this does now, when I moved it to the negative side, is it takes the signal and it flips it. It flips the envelope upside down. So now it looks more like a bowl shape if we were to translate it into graphic form. And it should do what we want it to. Let's take a look. Sweet. That's basically the sound we want. Pretty much no other thing needs to be done. But as a flavor point, I'm going to turn on the unison button here. And what this does is it takes the voices that the synthesizer plays and spreads them across the stereo field. And this makes for a very warm, rich sound. So I'm going to turn it off and play, and then turn it on. And as you could see, as well as hear, there's a lot more bass, and it sounds richer and creamier. That's pretty much it for this tutorial. I'm going to play you out for the end of this one. This is Ben Schultz signing off. If you like more of this kind of thing, please subscribe. I'll be here pretty much all summer. And I also make custom music, so if you'd like to see what I do in my spare time, please visit my website. But in any case, I'll see you next weekend.